Bears joint practices are in the books with the Indianapolis Colts, and today's recap show is sponsored by RexMD. Struggling in the bedroom, lacking that confidence? RexMD going to get you back on track. Go to rexmd.com/chat to get started with the consultation today. All right, joint practices are over, which means training camp is officially over. It's been done at Hallis Hall for a couple days, but the 2 joint practices are in the book. So I've got 5 big takeaways, mostly from today, but a little bit from the 2 days in general. Plus, we're going to talk about this a little later, but Matt Eberflus did say that Justin Fields and others will not play in the preseason game this weekend against the Colts. We'll tell you why here in a little bit. But hit that like button if you plan on joining our Bears versus Colts live watch party on Saturday night. If you're going to join us, hit that like button. If not, tell me why. Maybe you're going to the game, or maybe you don't like our watch parties, or you're busy on Saturday. Whatever the case may be, like the video if you're joining us, and if you're not, tell us why. Okay, practice takeaways from today. Let's start with injury stuff. Cody Whitehair exited very early, like an individual drill, so I don't know if he tweaked something. I think earlier in camp, wasn't there like a brief thing with his hand? I have to go back and double check. I think there was. Courtney Cronin with the note here saying that Whitehair just walked off the field with the trainer after getting his right hand unwrapped. He's been playing with the wrap on. Looks like he's headed back to the locker room for further evaluation. O-line, D-line currently in the middle of one-on-one. So again, this is very early on. Adam Johns offered an update here. He said, live update, Cody Whitehair has returned, but doesn't appear he's going to continue to practice Doug Kramer with the starters. So doesn't sound serious. Hopefully this is just one of those precaution things. He's a vet. Missing one practice isn't a big deal. Even if you need to sit him on Saturday, let the hand heal or whatever the case may be, that's perfectly fine. And hey, I think it's a good opportunity for Doug Kramer, with Lucas Patrick also sidelined, to get some of those reps. So I think as long as it's not serious, it could actually end up being a positive to get the second-year center some run there. Now, in terms of who else did not practice today, Jaquan Brisker, who's been out for a little while, as has Chase Claypool, Tremaine Edmonds, Lucas Patrick. You have Tristan Ebner not practicing, Josh Blackwell, DeMarquise Gates. Eddie Jackson, who got banged up yesterday, did not practice. Note on him in a second. Bayless Jones, Tyler Scott also not practicing today as well. Again, it doesn't sound like any of these are serious, but it is a high volume of players here. Here's more from John Z of The Athletic, who does great work. He said, Matt Eberflus said after practice that the injuries that kept out Eddie Jackson and Bayless Jones are, quote, nothing long-term. That's good news for Jackson after yesterday's injury scare. And just going back to last year with him ending the season on IR. So, again, precautionary stuff. Hopefully none of this stuff leaks into week 1. All right, takeaway number 2, now that we get past the injuries. Justin Fields cooked in 7-on-7s. Really both days. I mean, and today it sounds like it was really, really strong. Johnsy with the note here that Fields went 8 for 8 in red zone 7-on-7, spread the ball around. DJ Moore had an impressive grab. Also St. Brown on a kind of a scramble drill one. Otherwise, he was just sitting in the pocket delivering the football. And what did Matt Eberflus say at the beginning of training camp, or it might have even been in OTAs? What should 7-on-7s look like? The ball should never hit the ground. Well, how about 0 incompletions in 2 days in 7-on-7s? That's what you're looking for. It favors the offense. Go do it. Now, that doesn't mean you're never going to have a pass batted or an occasional pick in 7s or whatever, but the offense should win those more often than not. I think he went 15 for 15 in 2 7-on-7 drills the last 2 days. That's what you want to see from your young quarterback heading into year 3. Now, he was intercepted once in 11-on-11s. My big thing I was looking at earlier is, can he have a turnover-free practice? That did not happen. Did force one over the middle that got tipped and picked off. But yesterday I had 2, today I had 1. You know, it's not a huge deal, but you'd like to limit those. It's kind of tough, right? Like when you're teaching this stuff as a coaching staff, is like, Justin Fields is an aggressive-minded quarterback. That was him coming out of Ohio State. He big game hunted. So how do you find that balance of pulling the trigger and not? That's obviously something he's going to continue to have to work on. But 1 interception today. Sounds like the first-team offense in team drills late, kind of up and down. Did end with a big completion to DJ Moore. But all in all, I thought it was pretty solid from QB1. Fill in the blank. Justin Fields will throw blank interceptions this year. Last year he threw 11. Obviously the Bears are going to throw more this year. You would expect him to not – obviously the volume of passes is going to go up, but playing with better players, maybe the percentage of throws that get picked off goes down. So I could actually see it being a similar number, but obviously he's going to throw more and hopefully throw more touchdowns. Real quick, too, before we get to a note from our sponsor, Fields will not play on Saturday. I hit that off the top. Matt Eberflus said basically that he thought he got enough work in these joint practices, and it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Preseason games are about getting reps against opponents in physical situations. Well, you've gotten that the past couple of days. Flus said some select starters will not practice as well. Zach Pearson, who had the tweet here on that note. So we'll see who those select starters are. I would still like to see like a Darnell Wright, for example, play as a rookie starting offensive lineman, maybe even Braxton Jones, a second-year left tackle. I would still like to see Nate Davis play, who's still being ramped up, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Bears Now is sponsored by Rex MD. Folks, sex is all about confidence, and sometimes that confidence can waver a little bit. Well, RexMD, the #1 leader in men's telehealth, is going to help you out. That's why we're excited to tell you about RexMD, as they offer an easy and discreet way to get the medication you need for erectile dysfunction without having to visit a doctor's office. With just a few clicks, you can have your medication delivered straight to your door and at a fraction of the cost of traditional pharmacies. RexMD's team of licensed physicians will work with you to find the right treatment plan, and their medication is made in the USA, so you can trust its quality. Plus, their customer support team is available 24/7 to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. So if you're ready to take control of your sex life and say goodbye to ED, head on over to rexmd.com/chat, start your consultation today, and take advantage of the best deal they've ever offered with up to 90% off and pay just $2 per dosage. rexmd.com/chat. That link is in the comments and in the description of this video. Take advantage of this awesome deal, Bears fans. rexmd.com/chat. Go check them out today. Okay, takeaway number 3. Kyler Gordon, interception in one-on-ones. And I know you're probably saying, well, football's 11 on 11. It's not one-on-ones. Well, it is 11 on 11, but it's a bunch of individual battles, right? And when you do these one-on-one drills, they heavily favor wide receivers. Like, plenty of space. The quarterback sometimes will hang onto the ball, so quarters are having to cover for like 4 or 5 seconds because there's no pass rush. Like, receivers win these drills 9 out of 10 times. If you're getting not only a breakup but a pick in one-on-ones, that's doing something with Kyler Gordon. He continues to have a great camp. I'm just fired up about where he's at with this Bears team right now. I expect him to make a big jump. I think you guys do as well, and we should expect that. It's year 2. He was a second-round pick last year who struggled a good portion of the year but came on strong late. I expected that momentum to carry over, and we've seen just that throughout this training camp. Sub for Bears Dubs. Don't jinx it, folks. Only 3 wins last year. Let's get the subs up so the dubs can come up as well. So if you want daily videos here on Chicago Bears Now, hit that subscribe button. We're going to have you covered on a daily basis with news, rumors, practice reports, watch parties, post-game shows. We do it all. Don't miss out on any of it. Okay, a couple more. Chippy practice. It was a little chippy yesterday. We saw that, and the big reports yesterday was that the Colts had to match the Bears' intensity and physicality. That's something Flus has preached, is they're going to bring the juice and edge to these games and practices, and I think that carried over into today. A couple of reports from some different reporters here. Bit of a scuffle, Zach Pearson says, on kickoff drills. Terrell Smith and Zaire Franklin got into it. Some pushing. Period ended early after that. That was earlier in the practice. Dan Wiederer also had a note saying that Gervon Dexter just threw 2 haymakers at Colts guard Carter O'Donnell after a red zone play. It did not escalate from there, but I can't imagine that Bears coaches will let that slide without some form of discipline. I guess we'll see. And then Adam Johns, once again, in a low red zone drill. Kenny Moore just blitzed and knocked the ball away from Justin Fields' hand. Matt Eberflus, former Colts DC, was right there and didn't like that from his former nickelback and told him. And I like the last part of that, right? Like, I like Flus going to his former player that he coached, but in defending his quarterback, be like, don't knock the ball out of his hands, man. They already hit Fields below the knee on accident, albeit in yesterday's practice. Like, don't touch the quarterback in joint practices especially. So I love Flus defending his QB there and just kind of nudging the other team like, hey, man, let's not escalate this further than it needs to go. So big fan of the head coach defending the quarterback. Show Flus some love. Get the Fluses going in the chat right now. Type Flus right now for defending JF1 and just if you're feeling good about the vibes with Matt Eberflus right now. I'm feeling good about where things are heading, so type Flus in the chat. Is a backup quarterback competition brewing? I feel like it's a conversation we've kind of been avoiding a little bit on this channel and as fans. I see some of you guys talking about it on Twitter and whatnot in the comments, but I'm starting to wonder if this actually could be the case. Adam John said that Tyson Bagent had a great low red zone drill for the Bears, 3 touchdown passes, 2 of which were to Robert Tonyan. Now, based on the initial depth chart, Bagent was listed as QB4. Now, that was from last week. I haven't seen a new one released this week headed into this game. Maybe they'll drop one tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. I think Bagent is clearly ahead of Peterman in terms of like an ascending player and talent. We know what Nathan Peterman is. He's a locker room guy. He's not someone you ever want to play. And with P.J. Walker, who's been struggling for weeks now, like he started camp okay, but he's been struggling for weeks. And Bagent has impressed. Thought he looked good in limited reps last week. This is something to monitor in Saturday's game. And I do wonder, I'm not going to go conspiracy theory here, but with Justin Fields not playing, you almost wonder if a little bit of that is calculated. Like, all right, P.J. Walker, you've struggled. You're going to start. Let's see what you can do to start this game with a few starters. We're also going to give Tyson Bagent some extended run. Like, to me, that's what I want to see now. If Fields not playing, I want Bagent to get at least a quarter, if not a half, on Saturday. Maybe you go Walker first half, Bagent second half. Or maybe you go Walker for a quarter, Bagent, Walker, Bagent in the fourth. Like, I don't need to see Nathan Peterman. Like, we know what he is. So I'm just intrigued by this, man. Like, I liked the Walker signing at the time. I'm still not against it. His skill set as Fields' backup makes sense. He knows DJ Moore from playing with him. I get all that, but I don't know. Something feels off with P.J. Walker. He has not been playing well throughout this training camp. What say you? Who should be QB2 right now? Type PJ for P.J. Walker or TB for Tyson Bagent. At this exact moment, I'm still going to say P.J. Walker, but things can change. And hell, maybe you keep both. Maybe you carry 3 on the 53. Who knows where this is heading, but I'm very intrigued by it. I think Saturday just got, in some ways, more interesting despite Justin Fields not playing. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed the joint practice coverage. Seemed like it was a couple of fun, intense practices out there in Indianapolis. We'll be back with a video tomorrow, plus the watch party on Saturday, so subscribe and join us.